Good morning and welcome to South Valley. I am Caitlin Collins and my pronouns are she and her. I am a 30-something woman in a blue top with pink hair, and it is my privilege to be your worship leader today. This month, our theme for worship is death, which the worship team thought was a great way to start a new year. The theme for today, therefore, is also death, which, when we were planning this, we could not have expected the amount of death in the news this week. And so in light of that, I would encourage you to look after yourself today and this month as we talk about this topic. Your worship team and Pastor and Reverend Laura think that this is important and this is the right time to talk about it. But that doesn't mean it's going to be the right time for you. So I would encourage you this month and today to engage in whatever kind of self-care you need to. And that can look like getting up and walking out. I promise not to be offended. It can look like grabbing a pen and doodling on the paper program. It can look like anything you need it to look like. In light of that, we are going to start with a game. I would ask you to all take a big breath in and a long breath out and close your eyes. Imagine in your hands you are holding a little ember, a little bit of coal, and it's got a little red in it, but it's mostly going out. We need to bring it back. You're going to breathe onto your little ember to bring it back. You ready? And breathe. Oh, it's looking a little better, but it's not quite there yet. Can you breathe on it again? One more, I think will do it. And, oh, there we go. You have your own little fire. And I'm going to encourage you to keep your little fire. I am going to tuck mine into my heart to keep it. But you may put yours wherever you need to. Take a big breath in. Let it all the way out. And open your eyes.
Come, come, whoever you are. We are all welcome here. We're all welcome with our varieties of age, size, eye color, hair color, skin color. We are all welcome here. We have many different genders, orientations, speech styles, and abilities, and all of us are welcome here. Some of us come with laughter in our hearts, some of us with tears in our eyes. Some of us believe in God all of the time, some of us some of the time, and some of us none of the time. We are all welcome here, no exceptions. When I was a stranger here, I found a deep and wonderful welcome. I keep coming back because every Sunday I feel that welcome again and again. Together we're a community of open minds, loving hearts, and willing hands. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to South Valley Unitarian Universalist Society. My name is Tom Omer. My pronouns are he and him. I have brown hair, a blue shirt. I'm kind of a medium-sized guy. It's my privilege to be your worship associate for today's service. I have a few announcements. The first one is regarding Starting Point, which is this phenomenal, fantastic way to get started learning about Unitarian Universalism in general and SVUUS in particular. We are excited to announce that Starting Point groups for January and February are starting up. It's for those that are new or new-ish to the congregation. We share each other's religious journeys, hear the history of UUs and our own South Valley congregation. We learn a myriad of ways to become an active part of this dynamic church, and so much more. Our January sessions actually begin today, followed by the 12th and 26th. Our February sessions will be held on the 2nd, 9th, and 16th of February. All sessions are 11:30 to 1:30, so you'll have a few minutes to socialize and then start that session. A light lunch is provided, so food. Okay. Please see Sherry Lund standing up, holding the clipboard. If you are at all interested in any of this stuff that I've just been talking about with Starting Point, please talk to Sherry. She's amazing, by the way. I mean, let's be honest, you should talk to Sherry regardless, okay? Everyone in here should just go talk to Sherry. Anyway, and childcare is provided as well. So, today, like I say, the Starting Point group is starting. They'll be meeting up in the youth room, which is in the back of the annex. So if you go this way, turn around and go. Anyway, Sherry will tell you exactly where it is, but it's back here. And yeah, there you go. Other announcement is the Operation Curb Appeal that hopefully all, as you came in, you saw the sign back there, so I won't go into tons of detail, but please continue to make contributions because wouldn't it be amazing if we could upgrade our parking lot out here? So anyway, hopefully everybody's getting an opportunity to contribute whatever you can to that fund. Okay. Now I'd like to invite everybody to share the warmth of community. So we'll invite you to stand, talk to somebody near you, and we'll give you a couple of minutes.
Please remain standing for the opening hymn. Thank you.
What is the opening?
We are singing Dark of Winter, which is number 55. Chalice lighting.
Before we light our chalice today, we have some more people to say good morning to. We need to say good morning to our virtual folks in the back. If you could turn around and wave. We're so glad you found us too. Let us light our chalice. We light this chalice for the warmth of love, for the light of truth, and for the energy of action. You may be seated unless you have a January birthday, because it is time for birthday blessings. If you have a birthday this month, we invite you to come on up. We have stickers for you. For all three of you, I have a birthday blessing. May this coming year open your mind to new possibilities, discoveries, and dreams. May your heart be joyful and free. May your spirit be moved to deeper wisdom. When adventure beckons, may your courage rise. When sorrow arrives, may friends surround you quickly and well. And may your compassion for self and others grow ever more rooted in loving kindness, such that your life proves this essential truth, that with love all things are possible. May this blessing find its way to your consciousness whenever you need it most. This world is better because you are in it, and we are so glad you are here. Happy birthday.
We are this church. I just love those words so much. Guys, we are this church. This church exists because we are here and we want it to. So all of the wonderful things like the starting point that we were talking about and the other small classes and the ministries for our kids and everything else, it all is possible because we contribute our time, our talents, and our money to make it keep happening. Part of our ministry at South Valley includes sharing our Sunday worship with a charitable organization that aligns with our principles and values. So for the months of January and February, we are supporting Stewardship Utah. Stewardship Utah works to protect the land, air, and water for all people in Utah through elections, policy, and democracy. Please join me in reading our offertory words that will be up here. We are this church. We are its hands, its heart, its voice. Together we share the wealth of this community and sustain it with our gifts. We'll now accept the offering, have the ushers come up. And for our music today, for the offering, we're going to be doing a congregational hymn. So it's going to be number 57, All Beautiful, the March of Days.
Thank you. For all we have found the courage to give and all we have received, may these gifts be a blessing on South Valley and Stewardship, Utah. Our first reading today. It was some time before one could see. The hot air escaping caused the candle to flicker. But as soon as one's eyes became accustomed to the glimmer of light, the interior of the chamber gradually loomed before one, with its strange and wonderful medley of extraordinary and beautiful objects heaped upon one another. With the light of an electric torch, as well as an additional candle, we looked in. Our sensations and astonishment are difficult to describe, as the better light revealed to us the marvelous collection of treasures. 2 strange ebony black effigies of a king, gold-sandaled, bearing staff and mace, loomed out from the cloak of darkness. Gilded couches in strange forms, lion-headed, Hathor-headed, and beast infernal. Exquisitely painted, inlaid, and ornamental caskets. Flowers. Alabaster vases, some beautifully executed of lotus and papyrus device. Strange black shrines with a gilded monster, snake, appearing from within. Quite ordinary-looking white chests. Finely carved chairs, a golden inlaid throne, a heap of large, curious white oviform boxes. Beneath our very eyes, on the threshold, a lovely lotiform wishing cup in translucent alabaster. Stools of all shapes and design, of both common and rare materials. And lastly, a confusion of overturned parts of chariots glinting with gold, peering from amongst which was a mannequin. A sealed doorway between the 2 sentinel statues proved there was more beyond, and with the numerous cartouches bearing the name of Tutankhamun on most of the objects before us, there was little doubt that there behind was the grave of that pharaoh. Excerpt from the Journal of Howard Carter, 26 November 1922.
All right, it's time. I'd like to invite all of the young and young at heart to come up and join me. Everybody comfortable? So good to see you guys. Are you guys excited to be here? Yeah. Nice. All right. We're going to read this fun little book, or some parts of this book. This is a book called All My Friends Are Dead. Doesn't it just look like such a sad little dinosaur? Wouldn't it be sad to be a dinosaur and have all your friends be dead? This is going to be fun, guys. We'll read through this. This is not just dinosaurs. Okay, here we go. Next one. That's right. This one, honestly. All my friends are also dead. The dodo, right? You guys know that the dodo is extinct? They're all gone. Most of my friends are dead. That's what happens when you get older, right? What? Oh? Now all my friends are dead. So sad. All of my friends are end tables. I was never friends with that guy. Dang it. Oh, sorry, and this is where the book got out of sync from there we go. My only friend has recently gone missing. My friend, it's so sad. Does this happen to you guys? It happens to me all the time. Let's see. Yeah. All my friends expired on Tuesday. All of my friends are so last season. Let's see. Oh, that's right. All of my friends are puddles. Oh, you guys they turn into puddles, don't they? Have you had a snowman melt? Right? It's happened to me too. Let's see. All of my friends are Kentucky Fried. All your friends are delicious. Let's see. Okay. All my friends will be dead within 24 hours. This job makes me feel so alive. Howdy. Sometimes I feel alone. Some days are long and hard. But when I look out into the world, I am struck by the impossible beauty of it all. Those billions of magnificent accidents that led us to where we are today, that led us to paper planes and nautilus shells and the tiny crooked smiles of children. When I think about all the small perfections of the world, I have faith that my time will come. I have faith that someday a warm light will flood over me and I will find peace. It's time. And now this one says, I'm still not your friend. And to bring it back to the dinosaur, dang it. Right? So it happens, right, guys? And that's not the end of the world. Things keep going on. Okay, now I'm going to invite you guys to actually stay up here, okay? So get comfortable. All right, we're going to go ahead and have the rest of our service. We're going to be doing some fun fire service stuff over here, so please no one touch the fire, okay? But you're all welcome to just stay up here and hang out for the rest of the service if you want, or you can go back and sit in your seats. It's up to you, all right? Thanks, guys.
Well, since most of you are staying, can I come sit with you? Is that okay, grown-ups, if I sit with the kids? Okay, nobody said no, so I'm sitting. I have our second reading, and this is called Firefly Memories, and it's by Jim Yerman. There was a light rain falling as I walked this morning. The weather was cool and calm when I remembered a night just like this years ago in our backyard with my mom. It was the first time I ever saw fireflies. I watched them flash and dance out in the rain. It's a memory that to this day still makes me smile, a memory that remains. I remember that day as if it was yesterday. Mom looked up and smiled at me. She said, "I'm glad I was here to witness your first firefly memory." Mom had a unique way of looking at the world. It was a little odd and at the same time wise. She saw memory as this endless meadow within our hearts, filled with fireflies. She believed any time an experience finds its way into our heart, there's a firefly waiting patiently, whose sole purpose is to take that experience and create a memory. Each firefly has one memory to hold, and they take their job seriously, ready to flash to life when we want to recall it, and sometimes unexpectedly. Mom believed some firefly memories last forever, while others have a shorter lifespan, which is why she always said we need to make as many memories as we can. That is why this morning's light rain brought a smile to my face as this memory of Mom flashed before my eyes. And I was thankful this memory appeared from out my field of fireflies. Thankful for all the fireflies in that field, ready to undertake the job of capturing and holding any new memory I make. And thankful for how old memories, once captured, can flash into my mind with ease, like sitting with my mom in the rain long ago, making firefly memories.
All right, guys, now I'm going to tell you a brief true story, okay? Just under a year ago, I had the huge privilege of going on a little business trip, and I found myself in New York City with a whole day that I could pick what I wanted to do. And so I went to this glorious place called the New York Met, the New York Metropolitan Museum of Art, which is just, I mean, honestly, I wish I'd had a whole week that I could have spent there, because even in the whole day, I was only able to scratch the surface. And I'm kind of a slow museum goer. I like to walk through really, so it's best that I was alone, actually. It's best that you weren't with me, because it's really annoying when my kids are with me in a museum, for both of us. Anyway. But I love to go super slow and read everything and really soak up what these things are that we see. So here I was in the New York Met, and for those who don't know, the New York Met has just a world-class ancient Egyptian collection. I mean, it's this huge wing of the Met, and even at that, I think it's only maybe a fifth of the entire museum. Anyway, but and just for those who haven't been there, I didn't know this before I went, but I walk into one of the rooms. They have an entire ancient Egyptian temple that was deconstructed, that was taken apart and reconstructed inside the Met. Anyway, just it blows your mind what is over there. But on the next slide, I'll show you a picture of one of the exhibits. I walk into this room, okay, and there's this figurine and a bunch of other figurines just like it. And just, before I read any of the signs, I just thought to myself, oh, okay, so like the museum staff must have built some little figurines to show us like what life was like back then or whatever. So I'm kind of looking at them. Oh, isn't that interesting? I guess they must have rowed boats like this, whatever. And then I start reading the displays, the signs, and it says, no, these are the actual artifacts that they opened up a tomb. And there's this crazy story of where, a lot of the ancient artifacts have been looted, of course, over the many, many centuries. And so there's only so much for archaeologists to find. They went to a tomb that was well known, already well excavated, well, looted, etc. And they stumbled on a secret door that no one had found for 4,000 years. 4,000 years, guys. This exact artifact and a whole bunch of others are sitting in this tomb, well preserved for 4,000 years. Anyway, and of course there's this whole story of the guy, I wrote down his name, Meketra. I don't even know if that's how you say it, but Meketra is the name of this rich official who was, did a lot of important things, I'm sure, whatever. And when he died, he had a very expensive funeral, basically, right? He paid people to make all these amazing figurines. And the idea was, like, why would you do this, right? Why would you bury yourself along with a whole bunch of intricate, expensive, amazing, like it was, the wood apparently came from thousands of miles away, or whatever it is, hundreds at least, I don't remember. So this was not a trivial thing for them to make this. Why would you do this, right? The idea, or at least what we think we know about them, I mean, this is 4,000 years ago, so I mean, what do we really know about these people? But we believe that they thought this was how they were going to provide for themselves in the afterlife, right? That after he died, because he put these figurines in a certain way and whatever, he would have servants in the afterlife preparing things for him, and who wants to get to the afterlife and not have food and transportation and whatnot, right? You want to have that stuff when you get there. So anyway, so they put all these figurines in there. And I'm going to point something out that's super obvious, but I think also very profound, which is that this stuff is still here, or it was still there 4,000 years later. It's going a little too far, I think, to say that it was totally pointless. that the figurines didn't actually achieve what the ancient Egyptians thought they were going to achieve. Maybe they did. Who knows? I'm not here to say what happened and what didn't happen, but I can tell you for sure that these figurines are still there 4,000 years later. And to me, it's fantastic, it's amazing, it's fascinating, but it's also a tragedy. It's a tragedy that so much effort went into these things that no one got to enjoy. They sat preserved for 4,000 years. Is it better to play with your toys? You guys just got a bunch of toys for Christmas, right? Do you like playing with them, or do you just like set them there and look at them and preserve them for future generations? No? Anyway, not that it's bad to do that, obviously, but hopefully we're playing with our toys. And I guess the thing I want you to think about, the challenge for all of us is, are we living in the present? Are we using our time and energy and resources to make each other happy, to make ourselves happy, to serve and love each other? And hopefully we are all thinking of ways that we can do that even better in the new year. Thanks.
To kind of pick up at that place, we, as Tom was saying, we have museums filled with things that were left behind, and I think I want to bring that a little bit closer to home. I know that many of you have lost loved ones. I lost my grandmother a few years ago, and she left a house in Mississippi that was just filled with things. And some of these things were important. I have, for example, a doll that was hers that she grew up with, and now I have it. And that is an important thing for me. But then there are other things, and we didn't build a great big tomb and bury her with all of her things. We started giving them away. But that's a lot of things she was holding on to at the end. And we think about that sometimes as we're encouraged as we get older. And I'm not that old, and I've already had people tell me I should make an estate plan and things. And I'm not old enough for that yet. But it's important to think about what you're doing with your things and what things you're hanging on to pass on, and what things maybe you should use now. Maybe you should enjoy with your loved ones now. And today, we are doing our burning bowl, our fire communion. And the point of fire communion is to let things go. Now, obviously, I did not ask you to bring things to burn today, because that is not what we are doing. Instead, I want you to think about the non-tangible things you are holding on to. For example, to go back to my grandmother, her whole life was very kind and very outgoing and very yes, let's go do it. And then the dementia happened. And so, through no fault of her own, at the end, what she was holding on to was confusion and frustration. And so when she finally passed, that's what got handed down. That confusion and the frustration and the I want to go home. And again, with the disease, there's not like my grandmother made that choice. But some of us are lucky enough to have that choice. And some of us will not live as long as my grandmother did. And so it got me starting to think, if I wasn't here tomorrow, what am I holding on to? What feelings do I have that are so present in my life that I am passing them on to the people I interact with, whether I mean to or not, whether I want to or not? And which of those things am I holding on to so tightly that I can't imagine a tomorrow without it, whether I like that tomorrow or not? So I want to give you just a second to think about the feeling that you hold on to the most. And there are no wrong answers. I know for me, the feeling I hold on to the most is not really one I enjoy having. And so maybe that's something I don't want to carry any further. Maybe that's something when I'm gone, I don't want to be remembered for. I'm really hoping that many of you heard me say that and you're like, oh no, I like my feeling, it's a good feeling, I'm going to keep it. And honestly, I really hope most of you felt that way, but I have a sneaking suspicion that at least some of you didn't. And again, there's no wrong answers here. We are going to have an opportunity in a minute to let go of whatever we're holding on to that we do not want to be remembered for. When they open our tomb in 4,000 years, what are they going to find? Are they going to find friendship and joy and beautiful things, or are they going to find anger and confusion? And just to be clear, I don't think anybody's actually opening our tomb. I personally don't want one. But you're going to leave things. You're going to leave memories in the people that know you. And for the younger ones who don't need to worry about estate planning yet, I want you to think about the feelings that make you feel good and the feelings that you don't enjoy feeling. And we can let those go even if they're a little bit more temporary. If you are one of the people here that had a good feeling pop into your mind and you're like, I'm hanging on to that, please do. Please don't come up and burn that. You get to keep it. But I am sure there's something, a feeling or a memory, or perhaps a feeling that has been passed on, a confusion or a frustration that isn't your own, that you inherited, that you can let go of and not carry with you anymore, and not be remembered for later, because it wasn't yours to begin with. We are going to have our ritual now, and I'm going to ask my young friends up here, if you can take your cushions and slide toward the piano. You can stay right here with me. We're just going to make a little bit of space because I'm going to be moving this stool here into the middle. Oh, perfect. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Tom. In a moment, I'm going to invite those of you who are here present in the sanctuary. We're doing it backwards. We're going to come up this aisle, which is not the way we usually do this, but we're going to come up this aisle. If you have a family member who's on a cushion, grab your family member. And a piece of flash paper. This is going to be whatever you need to let go of. And if you need to hang on to it for a second and give it that intention. Please take your time with that. And when you are ready, you're going to take whatever you are letting go of and come light it in our chalice. Once you light it, it's going to go kind of fast. So if you have a young one with you, if you would please help them do that. And then you will process back to your seat down this aisle. So just because I switched things on you, we're coming up this aisle and going back to our seats that way. For our friends at home, I would encourage you to take a minute and think about what you are letting go of and find some way to do that for you. It could be, if you have a candle and some safe paper, lighting it on fire as we are doing here. It could be journaling about it, or filling a cup and washing it down the drain. You get to make this ritual your own for those of you at home. Okay. Have you all still got your little fire inside? I invite you to find it for you. And when you are ready, you may come up this side and grab your family member if you've got one, and a flash paper. Going to invite you now into a moment of meditation. If you would put your feet flat on the floor, get comfy in your chair or on your cushion. And if you wish, go ahead and close your eyes. Notice how you are breathing. Notice as you breathe in, and notice as you breathe out. This little rhythm that is always with you. What you let go of is gone. It is burned and gone. And you don't have to carry it anymore. And now that it is gone, and now that we are stepping into a new calendar year, it is time to shift our focus. We have let things go, but what are we holding? What are you holding? What do you want to be holding? When you are gone, what do you want to leave behind? You have let things go. You have cleared space. You have room for whatever it is you want to hang on to. Holding on is not a bad thing. Letting go is not a good thing. They are just tools that we have to use as we wish. So as we move forward into this year, what are you going to choose to hold on to and make a part of your life such that 4,000 years from now, that is what we're going to remember about you? Whatever it was that came to mind, I want you to hang on to it. And if nothing came to mind, that's okay. You have however long you need to figure out what you want to hold on to. And as somebody that likes to change their mind, you can change your mind too. Take a big breath in. Let it all the way out. Wiggle your fingers. Wiggle your toes. Roll your shoulders and open your eyes. We are going to have our closing hymn, which Sarah will be directing. The number is 58, but we're not using that music. For those of you that read music, just look at the words. And Sarah has more instructions.
All right, hymn number 58, which is Ring Out Wild Bells. But those of you who come from an LDS tradition might be familiar with the tune that we've sung this to from the LDS hymn book. So we're going to take the words from 58 in our UU hymn book and put it to the music from the LDS hymn book. But that means that the last phrase that starts... It's all just this one page. So the last phrase that starts in the middle here, we're going to repeat that at the end of each verse. Okay. Please stand if you're willing or able, and then remember to remain standing after the hymn for our extinguishing our chalice.
stay standing as we extinguish our chalice. And you're welcome to do the actions with me as we say the words together.
We extinguish this chalice, but not the warmth of love, the light of truth, or the energy of action. We hold each other in our hearts until we meet again.
And you may be seated for the benediction. That was a lot of standing. On this first Sunday of our brand new calendar year, may you go out into the world holding only that which you wish to hold, such that that is what you will be remembered for.